Have you ever been told that you are not good enough? That because you failed maybe once or twice, that you would amount to nothing in this lifetime? Well, let me tell you, if that's the case, I can definitely relate. Hi, my name is Dawna-Diamond Tyson, and today I'm going to talk to you about finding your passion, regardless of what society may tell you. You are good enough. One of the biggest misconceptions in our society is that you have to have one passion, one thing that wakes you up in the morning, that drives you out the door, a good career, something that makes you a ton of money, right? Wrong. For me, I have several passions. I love photography, I love public leadership, I love being a public servant in my community and anywhere that, I can offer my help. I have come to find that my passions are often intertwined. I absolutely love public speaking, as I just said. I find it easy to communicate with those around me on a variety of things. And this has ultimately led to opportunities like being student regent and other esteemed leadership positions. It's ranged from this to starting my own photography business with my significant other, offering our services to students that are graduating because of the pandemic. Students were not able to take graduation photos, at least for a reasonable price. So things like that are things that I consider passions. So I guess the real question that you might be wondering is, how do you find your passion if you haven't found it already? Truth be told, it can be difficult. Sometimes it's natural, sometimes it's not. For example, Louis Armstrong, one of the forefathers of jazz. Did you know that this man was in a home of youth delinquents when he found his passion for playing the trumpet? I didn't. I think that's absolutely amazing. Someone that inspired me for a long time with my violin. I had no idea. I had no idea that this man, regardless of the challenges that he faced, he found a way to inspire others with his music, with his passion. Another person is Wendy Kopp. This woman, did you know? Did you know that this woman used her senior thesis at Princeton University to into Teach for America, which is a $229 million nonprofit organization that places graduates from some of America's top colleges and universities as teachers in challenged public schools. That is absolutely astounding. I'm sure that she didn't believe that this paper would turn into something so great, but she believed it, and look at where it took her. For me, it took me years to figure out what I wanted to do, what my passion truly was, because I was listening to everything that everyone else had to say and not listening to what I wanted to become, who I truly was. I just wanted to become what other people thought I should become. For a long time, if you were listening, you may have heard me say that I played the violin, which I did. I thought that I wanted to be a violinist at some point. That's insane, right? I played for 8 years, studied music, thought that this was going to be it. This was the it factor. But it was not. I found that it was something that I was good at. I wasn't great at, but I definitely was not passionate about. I think that part of this was because I saw the glorification of students that were better than me, that played better than me, and I was ultimately discouraged from playing the violin because I did not meet the expectations of the teachers that I had. And this was apparent starting at the age of 10. At 12, I remembered that I wanted to do everything. I wanted to become a scientist. I wanted to be a mathematician, a historian, a writer, anything that sounded great. I wanted to be the next Einstein. I believed that I could do this. I believed that I could become the next Einstein if I just buckled down, studied hard, and, just ultimately be smart, pretend to be smart. But educators wrote me off. They believed that I was a student with a long-term learning disability. I was placed in remedial courses, and I always felt like I was dumb, that I would never amount to anything, because I didn't understand basic knowledge according to them. Granted, these things were things that I couldn't understand, the things that they were teaching. I couldn't grasp them as fast as other students because it didn't make sense to me. It was hard for me to concentrate. I couldn't concentrate for more than 10 minutes, and sometimes I can't do that now. Eventually, this led to me hating education because everyone appeared smarter than I was, better than I was, better at their craft. They had found their passion, and I simply did not fit the mold. I got by in elementary school, I got by in middle school, and eventually onto high school. But something clicked, something turned in me whenever I got to college. I wanted to be something different. I realized that I could be better. I didn't have to listen to my past. This was a fresh start for me, and I was determined to become who I wanted to become. I didn't want to listen to the things that teachers told me, their undertones of, this girl is not good enough, the racist undertones, the sexist undertones, the educators ultimately believed. I wanted to believe that I would become a woman of self-worth, passion, drive, ambition, everything that I could think of that was good and that was better than the person that I was before. My sole purpose was no longer to just get by with an education. It was to become someone worth remembering in this world. My grandmother, unfortunately, who has passed now, was one of the biggest inspirations for me in this college journey, really throughout my whole life. She too was an educator. She told me, mostly growing up, that getting an education was truly something special. And for her, in her time, it was much harder, being a woman of color, being an educator, being something that others would deem as not enough, or something that she couldn't achieve, but she redefined the odds, and she served as an inspiration to me growing up, and even now, even after her passing. It reminded me of the many women that are still fighting to become something greater today. And for a woman of color, it can often serve as a little bit harder to become something greater, something that people don't expect you to become. But I took her words to heart. I stopped making excuses, and I stopped listening to people that attempted to label me as a lesser person. I found that my passion was not the expected career path. It was far more than that. It has been my dream for so many years now to become an attorney. But it is my passion to inspire others, to find their dream, to find their voice, those that have been silenced. If you don't have a dream, or you're discouraged from using your voice, you will see and you will be seen as worthless among people that want you to be worthless. It was hard growing up and believing that I was worth nothing, that I would mount to just nothing, and that this life would be wasted on believing just that. I want you to understand that you are worth taking a risk on, that you are worth taking a chance on. But you must believe that as well. Take your time. Don't rush yourself. And most importantly, find yourself. Find out who you really are. Find out what you are genuinely passionate about. Because at the end of the day, it's you that can make that decision to change, to make that decision to want to become something better than what you may deem yourself as, or what others may deem you as in a negative light. The key to finding what you are passionate about starts with you. You won't understand what you truly love in this lifetime unless you know just that, unless you know who you are. Lastly, I will leave you with this. Avoid thinking one-dimensionally about who you are, about what you are, and what your passionate may be. Stop thinking that your hard work, your dedication, and overall who you are as a person is worthless. You have to stop thinking and believing that you aren't good enough. That was one of the things that I had to learn over the course of time. Stop comparing yourself to others because you are not on the same path as everyone else. It's just simple. Everyone works at a different pace. Everyone learns differently. Everyone has something that draws them in, that makes them a better person. You are different, and that is special. That is unique. There's nothing wrong with being who you are. Remember that your passion does not have to be your career. There's nothing wrong with separating the two. It is okay having two different things and loving both of them. Remember that your good works, your passion, once you find it, if you have not, will serve as an inspiration for many years to come, and ultimately will make for a better tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening to my talk today. I hope that it helped you in some way, and it's been an honor and a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you.